Hey guys, if you still like us after listening to this podcast, do us a favor. If you get a chance, it'd be great if we could get
one of... Oh, man, you want me to take this one?
Yeah, I don't know how to talk.
I can do this. Tyler's indisposed right now, but if you happen to like the show, go ahead and leave us a review on iTunes and maybe tell a friend, because we're a pretty new show, and that helps us. That helps little dudes like us make it in this big old world. So, yeah, thank you again for listening, and have a good day, night.
Okay, so I haven't... Okay. This is a nightmare I may not be ready to live through.
I started getting crushes on boys.
Real embarrassed about this.
My mouth gets the best of me pretty much all the time.
Okay, I'm just like, how do... Okay. All right.
There we go.
Hey guys, welcome back to the We Still Like You podcast.
Unless you've never been here, in which welcome for the first time.
We're just glad to have you. If it is your first time here, We Still Like You's a show about shame, conquering that shame, taking that shame and saying, hey shame, you're not so cool, I'm what's cool.
Get out of here, shame. I'm what's hip. I'm what's happening.
Hit the bricks. And it's like that. That's what the show is.
Basically, we have given you don't even have to listen past this point. You get the idea, people.
You understand, because you're smart, and we love you.
We like you, at least.
We like you at least a little bit.
My name is J. Michael Osborne.
I'm Dan Sheehan.
We will be your hosts. We are 2 out of 5 hosts for our live show, which happens in Chicago at various apartments and backyards.
And today we're covering theft. We Still Like Thieves. The 40 Thieves. The Company of Thieves.
Sure.
So today we've got a bunch of stories about people just taking things that aren't theirs.
Mm-hmm.
They take them and consequences occur often.
And first up, if we're moving forward, is a friend of ours, good friend of ours, good friend of the show's, John Eide. He's a performer here in Chicago.
And in this story, John commits an act of theft and then kind of gets a little bit more than he bargained for. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Cool. Let's hear it.
He's one of my best pals. Please welcome John Eide.
Oh, man. All right, so let's get into it. I was raised Christian. Some of you might share that. I was involved in the church from time to time. I would go do things. At one point, I was a director of Vacation Bible School. I mean, I was a good person. And then things changed and I became less of a good person. I went on a church retreat in downtown Minneapolis that was held in a hotel for the weekend. And it was like one of those things where it was like for like the cool Christians, like it was the extreme Christians. You know, like it'd be like a no fear t-shirt, but it said no faith. Like... And then, like, the back would say, like, no, that's scary. Or, you know, something like that. There'd always be, like, a really ripped Jesus on the cross. Like, just, like, the Rock ripped, you know? Like, the first night, I was walking through the lobby, and I stumbled across a wallet. And I didn't turn it in. I took all the money out of it. And then, even when they made a big announcement during like one of the devotionals and was like, hey, did anybody find a wallet? I said no. I certainly did not find a wallet. I don't know what you're talking about. Unfortunately, all of our sins come around to get us. I kept the wallet. Like a serial killer. Like the way a serial killer keeps a trophy, I kept the wallet for years. I moved bedrooms at my parents' house. The wallet moved too. Like, I didn't find it and go, oh yeah, that was that shitty thing I did. I should throw that away. No, apparently in my head it was just a symbol of my conquest. Fast forward to 2 years later, and My dad's kind of a weird guy. He's a real successful guy. How my dad used to get me to clean up my room when he decided it was too messy is he would go in my room, open my closet, all my drawers, and throw everything in the middle of the floor, and then I had to clean everything up, which is crazy. Well, he did that one day, and he swept all my clothes out of one of my drawers, and then out came the wallet. Just tumbling out with it. And he's like, "What's that?" And I said, "A wallet." And then he opened it, and it belonged to a girl named Jennifer. And I was caught. Not only did I keep the wallet, but her ID was in it, which means now we can find her. So we did. I had to call her on the phone and speak to her and her father. She got on the phone and I told her what happened, and she immediately dissolved into tears and then passed the phone to her father. So they were from like way up north in Minnesota. This was her first trip to the big city of Minneapolis. This is what her dad told me. It were $300 in that wallet. She had been saving it for months. So excited to go to Minneapolis, and he informed me that I had ruined her trip. Then we got their address, and I had to pay her back. Understandable. But, I mean, you're not just going to send a check, right? So I had to pay her back, and then I had to write her a letter apologizing for what I did. Another thing about my dad is he backs up all our computers. So when I was at Green Gravel, I called him that morning, and I go, "Hey, I bet you still have that letter." He did. Dear Jennifer, I'm so sorry I took your money and ruined your weekend. It was not nice of me, and I feel very bad. A very poorly written letter. I hope one day we can go out to dinner and laugh about this. But I know that won't happen for a long time. Sincerely, John Eide. It's a pretty scumbaggy thing to steal somebody's wallet. It's way more scumbaggy to try to get a date out of it in the future. I know we ask questions at the end of this thing, and I would assume that you're going to ask me, "John, what did you spend $300 on?" This is why this is the story I'm telling, just so we're clear. I took that money and bought something very similar to this. That's a No Limit Records chain. You know, like Master P.
So that was John Eide. He's a stand-up. You can see him all around Chicago.
Great pal of the show.
When I was in northern Georgia, I saw there was a antique store. This man built everything there by hand. And there was a little stone demon with the head of Obama on it. I decided to shoplift these two cute little blackface racist figurines from that antique store.
It's like Robin Hood stealing racist figurines
Exactly.
from people who wish to profit off them.
The Robin Hood of the Nazi gold.
You're stealing Nazi gold.
Yeah,
Oh, the Nazi gold is just knickknacks for racist people.
exactly. Now, Dan, have you stolen anything? Because if you ask me if I've stolen anything, it's more like, what haven't I stolen, you know?
Yeah, I hear you there. You're a Class A thief. God, what all have I taken? I've shoplifted so many pens. I love stealing pens. It's unless you're a cop, in which case all of this is brilliant satire.
Oh my God, we are
We
the Je suis Charlie of the podcasting world.
we are really making a lot of great points about theft with these totally big lies about how I for sure stole like 2 or 3 cameras from my high
Except
school.
for the part where I steal Nazi gold and sell it back. That part, not
That's
satire.
100% real.
That one's true.
This next story comes to you from the host of our LA chapter of We Still Like You and just general great pal of ours, Andy Sell.
You guys put your hands together for Andy Sell, everybody!
Man, you know, I've done this show before, and it doesn't get any easier, you know? Oh man, shame is a, it's a thing. Webster's would define it as TFW, that feeling when you know you're wrong, right? That's what it says in the dictionary? That's what it says in there? Look, all right, we'll just lay this out here, guys. When I was 9 years old, there was this kid who lived on my street named, let's go ahead and call him Charlie. His name was Charlie. He was a kid that I hated playing with. He was my brother's age, so he was 3 years younger than me. So why is a 9-year-old hanging out with a 6-year-old? That's not cool. That's already, I'm embarrassed. One time I was over at his house, it was after school, and I noticed that he had this little toy, this little jack-o'-lantern toy, this little plastic, little rubbery jack-o'-lantern with like a human face on it. Looked like my Uncle Marvin. Just a real dumb redneck smile on this fucking jack-o'-lantern toy. And oh, did I covet that thing. Oh, did I love it. Oh, I wanted it. I wanted that toy because I loved Halloween and I loved jack-o'-lanterns and I loved my Uncle Marvin. So I wanted this little toy that didn't even do anything. Like, it didn't light up or nothing. It just was a thing. It was just it was like a paperweight. It couldn't even hold paper down. It was real light. And I asked him, like an idiot, you know, kids trade toys. So I said, hey, can I get that jack-o'-lantern from you? What do you want for it? I'll trade you a toy. I got some toys. I can trade you for it. I really like that jack-o'-lantern, Charlie. Really like it. He said, no, you can't have that. What? Excuse me? I can't have that? Why? It's really special to me. My grandmother gave it to me. And she's really sick right now. Okay. So when Charlie left the room, I grabbed it. I grabbed this little jack-o'-lantern Uncle Marvin guy and I put it in my pocket and I left the house. I just ran away. Just ran out of the house, kind of expecting his mom to stop me. She didn't. As soon as I walked out, as soon as I crossed the threshold into his yard from the front door, I was like, that was bad. I don't feel good about that. I shouldn't have done that. And for the rest of the time that I knew this kid, he never asked me about it, but I always thought I should give it back to him. And I never did. I still have it. I still got it. It's in my apartment right now. It's a symbol that I carry with me to say, hey, don't do the wrong thing, buddy. And it's got a real... The smile used to be fun, you know? Now it's a real cruel smile. Now it's a you know what you did, you're gonna burn in hell smile. So, cut to 6th grade, right? Yeah, 6th grade, I'm 11, and there's this girl in my class named Sharon. Why not? That's a good name. Call her Sharon. She's a new kid, and she's having a real rough time. Nobody really seems to like her very much. And I knew what that was like because I was a new kid once and nobody liked me. They still didn't like me. It was years later and they still didn't like me, still calling me names and pushing me around and stuff. But here was somebody that other people already didn't like, so it took the heat off me a little bit. I thought, I'm going to not like her too. Why not? Why not? Maybe they'll like me better if I don't like her. So I was mean to her for a while. I mean, not shitty, you know. I didn't like poke her in the eye or nothing. I just kind of, you know, was just rude to her. That's all. I didn't like, you know, set her backpack on fire. That was somebody else did that. One day, I was coming to class, and we were supposed to be at lunch, and she was sticking around the class afterwards in the room, and I came in, and I saw her taking something out of somebody else's desk that wasn't her desk. It was not your desk, Sharon! What are you doing to that desk? That's not your desk! Get out of there! I didn't shout that. I thought it in my head. My brain was burning with that kind of fiery, righteous indignation. And she took, I saw her take a couple pencils and a lip balm. She took a lip balm from somebody else's desk, and then she walked over to her desk and she put it in her desk. And that's not right! That's stealing. I know about stealing. That's a wrong thing that you're doing. Sharon, don't do that. Also, lip balm. Really? That was on somebody else's mouth. You're going to put that on your mouth now? What are you thinking? This is all going through my head. So I decided, not on my watch. I've been reading Batman comics. I'm going to be a crime fighter. So I wrote a real nasty note. Real nasty, I saw what you did note. And I signed it, The Watcher. And I drew a little logo for The Watcher. It was a hooded figure with two bright burning eyes. Two hateful burning eyes. And I folded it up, and I waited till she left, and I snuck in, and I put it in her desk. This is when Sharon's sanity started to unravel. I watched her open that note up. Oh, was I proud. Oh, did I have to see that. I waited till after school for her to fucking look at that. And she looked around and was very concerned, obviously, visibly concerned, visibly worried and nervous and anxious. And then that was the first note. There were more. As I told my friend, call him Zeke, when I told him about the Watcher, oh, did he run with it. Oh, did he have some fun. Oh, God. He started saying that we needed to issue ultimatums to her. Starting with, stop your thieving ways, criminal. So that was the second note. Stop your thieving ways, criminal. The Watcher sees all. And at this point, he had evolved the Watcher logo to include from a hooded figure with burning eyes to a hand holding a knife with blood dripping off of it. That's some violent imagery that I put in a 11-year-old girl's desk. And then over the course of the next couple weeks, with more notes coming, she started to get sad all the time. She was taking a lot of bathroom breaks, which I assume were crying and panic breathing breaks. And I started to feel bad about it. And I hadn't seen her steal in a little while. Because I was watching her. Here's the thing. I wasn't just sending her notes. I was stalking her. That's right, Andy Sell. Gamergator. In 1992. Sending threatening messages to women I didn't know. Oh, God. I thought I was a vigilante. It was fun for a minute. Until Zeke started telling me to ask for bribes. To keep her secret. Secret. What? What? He wanted money. He wanted me to ask her for money. And that was when I drew the line. And I said, nah, man, I can't do this anymore. And then he took it upon himself to start sending them himself. At which point I think she got the teachers involved. My memory is a little fuzzy. I do remember her reading one of the notes once in class And I was the only other kid in the classroom, and she stared at me after reading it, like she knew. I think she knew. I don't know for sure. But I will say that 6 years later, I went back to Iowa. This was in Iowa where I lived. I had moved to Colorado later. In 95, I moved to Colorado. But then, so 6 years after this, the events of this thing, oh, Jesus. Oh, God, I was a monster. I went back to visit Iowa again to hang out with my friends. And by this point, they had become friends with Sharon. And they invited her to the mall with us. And I said, you shouldn't invite her to the mall. She doesn't like me. They're like, why doesn't she like you? I don't know. I never did anything to her. I never did nothing to her. I don't know why she didn't like me. She just doesn't like me. And then he, my buddy, had to call his girlfriend, who was friends with, who was like her best friend, and had to tell that, Andy says that Sharon doesn't like him, so she probably, I don't know, is that going to be weird? And she's like, no, she likes him just fine. So she came to the mall, and I felt so guilty about what I had done, because it all came back. You know what I mean? It was all just like, God, I'm the watcher. Oh, at one point, the hood figure drawing also evolved to the hood was off, and there was a skull face. So there was that. And then I think we started spelling the watcher with an upside-down cross and a sword for an R. I don't know why the upside-down cross was in there. Here's the thing. I was sending this girl threatening letters about stealing. When I have a fucking pumpkin toy that I keep around for the sole purpose of reminding myself that I am a hypocritical piece of shit, I don't have any right to call anybody out for taking nothing. I never gave that kid his toy back. I still have it. I'm 35 almost. I still have this fucking thing. I was just shitty to this girl at the mall 6 years after sending her hate mail. I was shitty to her. She was perfectly nice to me. She at one point told me she had a crush on me and wanted to ask me to a dance.
That was Andy Sell.
Check out our LA edition of We Still Like You, coming very soon.
To get more info about that, check out our Facebook presence. It's just facebook.com/We Still Like You, or our website, WeStillLikeYou.com, or our Twitter, @WeStillLikeYou.
So many venues, so much time.
There's so much information to take in, and really, you should be taking advantage of every single one.
It's the internet, people.
Get on board!
So that has been our episode of We Still Like Theft. Thank you for listening. Leave us a comment on iTunes if you're so nice. And I'll see you next week.
Bye.
We Still Like You is produced by Danny Gallegos, Dan Sheehan, Tyler Snodgrass, and J. Michael Osborne, who is also our resident live artist.
The podcast is produced by Jesse Patend, engineered by Jesse Patend and Sam Haas. Our theme song is Specific People by Jake Tobin. Big thanks to all the people who've housed our live shows at various undisclosed locations around Chicago, and to you, the listener, for being there.
If you'd like to know more about where you can watch We Still Like You or submit to be on We Still Like You, please check out our website, which is WeStillLikeYou.com, and also you can find us on Facebook.
We'll see you next month.
Next time on We Still Like You.
And these dudes were like, that drunk kid's awesome! But I was clearly underage and very wasted. And I just remember two German dudes came up to me and they were like, yeah, the Oompa Pa band is very sad that you are taking spotlight from them.
Anyway, that's been our episode of Theft. I hope you enjoy it.
I hope it stole your heart.
Ugh, fuck you, dude.
I love whenever you and I host together. It's just us in a fight for 20 minutes.
Shut up! You can shut the fuck up!
This is a hostile environment.